So, this is Matthew Wetherbee, and this is my review on Creed. Basically, I think of this almost as like a Rocky 7, but it is its own movie, and they did a super good job of making the same movie where it could be Creed, its own movie, or in your mind, Rocky 7, because it follows perfectly all the Rockies. In fact, it's more than perfect, and it's totally its own movie. I really, really liked this movie, and I went in with high expectations. I saw the film and I wanted to see it really bad, and I was excited for it, and it was above my expectations. I was very pleased. Like, I would say of all the Rocky movies, this one by far had the best choreographed boxing. Like, it seemed real more close to true boxing than all the other Rocky movies. And you know, if you're like me and you grew up watching the Rockies, you love Apollo Creed, but you've never heard of his illegitimate son. You've never invested any time or energy into him. You don't know this character. And yet, it didn't take long for me to really, really like this kid. Like, they start at first, he's in juvie, so he's in juvie, and you know, he gets picked up and whatnot. But then, shortly into the film, it's present day, and he's like in Tijuana, some like little underground fight. And just, maybe it's just because I'm a fighter and I've done a lot of athletic events in my life where I was going to have to compete, and especially in fighting type things where you're going to go against an opponent and you can get hurt. I can so identify with that part at the beginning before you start. Oh my gosh, like, yeah, and they captured that well. And it might have just been like the way that I can identify with that personally that made me connect with this character so quickly. But yeah, right from the moment where they show him kind of in there and putting his gloves on and putting his mouthpiece in and shadow boxing the wall a little bit, I already liked him. And then you see him in his boring day job, and he quits, and he wants to be a fighter. And I don't know, this film seemed really, really realistic and really real, and all the characters were really good and really believable. And I don't know, it's like taking the Rocky universe and a good movie and just merging them together into one thing. Like, the first Rocky and a half would be like a good movie story, because then it got unrealistic and stupid after that. But so the first Rocky would be a good story where it ends on a high note and you like it. But this was really well done. It's just, man, they felt like you were really there in Philly and you just saw people being people. There were like a couple small things, but nothing big. Like, I really, really enjoyed this, and the fight was real well done. But again, this is one of those scenes where the characters were so interesting and realistic that I wasn't bothered or impatient when they weren't fighting. Like, I know there's a lot of people that love character development and stuff like that, and I probably like it a lot more than some of my friends. I mean, I have this one friend that just every movie we watch, he fast forwards all the fight scenes, and it's kind of fun to watch movies with him. But I definitely have my moments where I'm like, dude, just get to fighting already. But not in this movie. This movie was good. Like, yeah, I thought they did a really, really good job. I thought this was the best way you could possibly do like a Rocky movie in 2015 with Sylvester Stallone being 69 years old. Like, he did an incredible job playing Rocky. It was like, man, this film was just like one of those scenes where like the whole time you're watching it, you're just loving the experience. And then when you go out, you're like, man, that was really good. Like, you're really happy that you went and saw this movie. So maybe that's just me, you know, I grew up watching the Rockies and whatnot, and I'm a fighter and I train all the time, so it might be different for someone like me than just a normal person, but I thought it was really good. So I highly, highly recommend